Good morning, students. Let's begin our social science class in continuation of Democratic Politics, chapter Electoral Politics. Today's contents: what makes elections in India democratic? Independent Election Commission, popular participation, acceptance of elections outcomes, challenges to free and fair elections. These all subtopic I am going to explain in this video. Independent Election Commission. This topic I am going to explain through one story. News broadcast for the day. There was a headline: EC orders repoll in 368 district. After seeing that heading, Tony got confused. He asked his mother about what is meant by EC. His mother replied that EC stands for the Election Commission of India. It is an independent body of office made by the Constitution. Election Commission is mainly in charge of conducting elections in our country. So let us know more about Election Commission. Elections in India are conducted by an independent and very powerful election commission, which is termed as EC. It enjoys the same kind of independence that the judiciary enjoys. Judicial independence is the concept that the judiciary should be independent from the other branches of government. Thus, both the judiciary and election commission are not under any other branch of the government. They are separate bodies which function completely by themselves. The Chief Election Commissioner CEC is appointed by the President of India. But once appointed, the Chief Election Commissioner is not answerable to the President or the government. Sukumar Sen was the first Chief Election Commissioner of India. Even if the ruling party or the government does not like what the commission does, then also they are not able to remove him on his post. Very few election commissions in the world have such wide ranging powers as the Election Commission of India. Now, looking at the parts or functions of the independent election commissions. The election commission is also called independent election commission. Now, the first function of election commission takes decisions on every aspect of conduct and control of elections. It controls from the announcement of elections to the declaration of result. Second, it implements the code of conduct and punishes any candidate or party that violates. A code of conduct is a set of rules outlining the social and proper practices for an individual. Third, during the election period, the Election Commission can order the government to follow some guidelines to prevent use and misuse of governmental power to increase its chances to win elections. Fourth, when an election duty, government officers work under the control of the EC and not the government. So all these points are the functions of election commission. Which organization conduct election in India? Election commission. What are the main functions of the Election Commission of India? 4 point I have illustrated just now. You can see in the book also. So this is 5 mark question. In the last 15 years or so, the Election Commission has begun to exercise all its power. The Election Commission has even begun expanding the scope of its powers. It is very common now for the Election Commission to reproof the government for their failure. When election officials come to the opinion that polling was not fair, they order a repoll. So repoll is to poll or count the votes again. Mass level popular participation. This is the next subtopic. People's participation in election is usually measured by voter turnout figure. When we talk about voters turnout figure, it is indicated the percentage of eligible voters who actually cast their vote. So what does voter turnout figure means? The turnout indicates the percentage of eligible voters who actually cast their vote. In the last 50 years, the turnout in Europe and North America has declined. In India, the turnout has either remained same or actually gone up. For this, you can see the graph which is given in book figure number 1 and page number 70. In India, illiterate, poor, and underprivileged people vote in large portion as compared to rich and privileged section. This is a contrast to compare with Western countries. In USA, the poor, Afro Americans, and Hispanics vote much less than the rich and white people. Common people in India attach a lot of importance to elections. They feel that through elections they can bring pressure on political parties to adopt policies and programs favorable to them. They also feel that their votes matters in the way things are run in the country. You can see the diagram figure number 3 page number 71. The interest of the voters in election related activities has been increasing over the years. In 2004 election, more than one third voters took part in campaign related activities. More than half of the people identified themselves as being close to one or the other political party. One out of every seven voters is member of political party. This you can see in the graph figure 4 and page number 71. The data is given over there. Now the question related this, what is voters turnout? This I have already illustrated. Acceptance of election result. If the elections are not free and fair, the outcome always favors the powerful. In such situation, the ruling parties do not lose election and losing party does not accept the outcome of a rigged election. So we are going to see the some features or some of the values or outcome of the elections. The first, the ruling parties routinely lose election in India, both at national and state level. Every two or out of three elections held in the last 15 years, the ruling party lost. Second, in USA, an incumbent or sitting elected representatives rarely lose an election. In India, about half of the sitting MP and MLA lose elections. Third, candidates who are known to have spent a lot of money on buying votes and those with known criminal connections of also lose elections. Fourth point, bearing very few disputed elections, the electoral outcomes are usually accepted as people's verdict by the defeated party. So, all these points are related to the outcome of elections. So, how you compose this question? One final test of the free and fairness of the election has in the outcome itself. Justify the statement. Any 3 point which just now I have explained, you write in this answer. Challenges of free and fair election in India. Candidates and parties with lot of money may not be sure of their victory, but they do enjoy a big and unfair advantages over smaller parties and independents. This is the first challenge. Second, in some parts of the country, candidates with criminal connection have been able to push others out of the electoral race and to secure the ticket from the major party. This is the second challenge of the free and fair election. Third, some families rent to dominate political parties. Tickets are distributed to relatives from these families. Next, fourth point, very often elections offer little choice to ordinary citizens, for both the major parties are quite similar to each other both in policies and practices. Smaller parties and independent candidates suffer huge disadvantage compared to bigger parties. So these all points are the challenges which is come across in a free and fair election in India. Question related to this: what are various challenges to free and fair election in India? This is 5 mark question. All 5 points are the answer of this question. That's all for today. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.